She was 30. I was 48. They warned me not to marry her. But I didn't listen. Thomas Grant was 48 when he stood at the altar for the very first time. Heart-pounding, vows trembling on his lips. His bride, a radiant woman named Lily, had just turned 30 a few months earlier. The 18-year age gap raised plenty of eyebrows among friends and family. Some gave him cautious looks. Others didn't hold back their warnings. "They're from another generation," his brother had said. "They think differently, want different things." But Thomas didn't care. Lily brought color back into a life that had gone gray. She was wild-eyed and full of questions, laughing at things he hadn't thought were funny in years. Just the idea of coming home to someone so alive lit something inside him he'd thought had gone out long ago. They met by chance at a small coffee house. Thomas was having lunch with a client. Lily sat nearby, sipping an iced latte and flipping through a poetry book, surrounded by giggling coworkers. Her laugh turned his head. Her energy held his gaze. She noticed and smiled, and that was all the invitation Thomas needed. A few witty remarks, a shared interest in art, and one chance encounter led to another. Soon they were walking hand in hand through downtown after midnight, trading kisses and dreams like teenagers. Thomas had never felt more alive. Every bouquet he brought to her door, every gentle brush of her fingers against his, made him believe he'd found something rare, something real. Lily worked in human resources at a growing tech firm. Though Thomas hinted, sometimes playfully, sometimes seriously, that she didn't need to work, she refused to quit. "I don't ever want to rely on someone else for my life," she said once, adjusting her earrings before leaving for work. "It's not how I'm built." He respected that, loved it even. Her independence was part of what drew him in. One morning, she told him she had interviewed 2 new interns, Ben and Talia, both just starting their careers. "They're so green," she said, giggling as she zipped up her jeans. "I feel like a babysitter." That night, Thomas took her to a bistro they both liked. As always, he noticed the stares, the silent calculation people did when they saw him, silver at the temples, with a beautiful, much younger wife in heels and a smile that could set a room on fire. But Thomas wore those stares like a badge of honor. During dinner, she chatted about her day, mentioning the interns again. "Ben's shy," she said. "Barely spoke 2 words during onboarding. Poor kids, only 19. Thomas chuckled, letting his guard down. She made him feel calm, secure, chosen. She radiated joy, and he bathed in it. But in the months that followed, the current of their relationship began to shift. Subtly at first. Lily was suddenly sweeter than usual, overly affectionate, constantly cooking dinner at home rather than suggesting nights out like she used to. Her phone, once left openly on the table, now stayed glued to her hand. She angled it away when she typed. Notifications came at all hours. When Thomas asked about it, she laughed it off. "Work's chaotic. We're short-staffed and running behind. Everyone's blowing up everyone's phone." Then came the night she texted to say she had to work late. Thomas decided to surprise her. He drove to the office just after 9 p.m., parked outside and waited. He texted, "Here when you're ready." She read the message but didn't respond. Minutes later, he saw 2 figures exit the building. His heart lurched. It was Lily. And with her, a young man, barely out of high school by the look of him. They stood close. Too close. Their hug was brief but warm, the kind that lingered a moment longer than it should have. When she noticed Thomas's car, she smiled and waved like nothing was out of place. She got in the car casually. "Who was that?" Thomas asked. His voice calm but his chest a furnace. "Just Ben, the intern I mentioned." "He's harmless," she said, laughing lightly. "I told you he's like a puppy." Thomas wanted to believe her. And for a while, he convinced himself that's all it was. Youthful admiration from a wide-eyed kid and a protective boss. But the pattern didn't stop. Lily kept staying late. And every time Thomas swung by, Ben was there. Her answers grew clipped. Their arguments became more frequent. When he tried pressing the issue, she exploded, called him controlling, said he didn't trust her. She packed a bag and moved into a hotel for a week. After that, Thomas bit his tongue. He wanted to believe her. He needed to believe her. But one warm August night, when she once again stopped replying to his messages, something inside him snapped. He drove to her office building. From the parking lot, he saw the light on in her third-floor office. The building was quiet, eerily so. He climbed the stairs, each one heavier than the last. Then he heard them. Muffled sounds. The unmistakable rhythm of something intimate. The office door was ajar. With his heart in his throat, Thomas pushed it open. There she was. Lily, half naked, kneeling in front of Ben, whose pants were around his ankles. Her blouse was on the floor. For a moment the world stopped. No sound. No breath. Ben turned pale, scrambled to pull up his clothes. Thomas charged forward, grabbed him by the shirt collar, fist trembling in the air. But when Ben burst into terrified tears, something in Thomas's fury crumbled. He let go. Ben fled down the stairs, crying. Lily didn't move. She just sat on the floor, face soaked in tears, arms wrapped around herself. What did I do wrong? Thomas choked. I gave you everything. I don't know, she whispered, voice breaking. It just happened. I couldn't stop thinking about him. And now, she collapsed into his arms, sobbing, kissing his face, begging, please, Tom, forgive me. Please don't leave me. I'm so sorry. For a while Thomas tried. They stayed under the same roof for 6 more painful months, arguing, crying, replaying that awful moment in his head. He tried to be strong, tried to forget. But some betrayals are too loud to silence. He finally asked her to leave, filed for divorce. And just like that, the man who had dreamed of love later in life found himself alone again, wiser but deeply wounded. He thought about that dream he used to have in his 20s. Getting a big dog, buying a powerful car, and just driving into the unknown with the music blasting and no one to answer to. Maybe that was what he needed now. Lily moved away a year later. She got married again, had a child. But that marriage too fell apart. Eventually, Ben followed her to the new city. They tried to spark something again, but it fizzled before it even began. In the end, Lily wound up alone. Thomas never wished her harm. But sometimes life returns what we give. He had offered her loyalty, love, and a fresh start. She returned it with betrayal. And in the silent spaces of his new life, Thomas found something unexpected. Not just healing but freedom. He didn't know what the future held. But he knew, finally, what he wouldn't accept again.